Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's one thing that really clearly sets this side of the House apart from the other at the moment, and that is the difference of leadership. We have a Prime Minister in John Key who is providing a steady hand in very uncertain times. And that's why New Zealand is actually positioned as a country to be in the best shape in many of the countries around the world, despite the level of global uncertainty that we are facing. And New Zealand has got a strong plan for getting back into the black. Unfortunately, the other side continue with their mantra of tax more, spend more, get more debt. But it's interesting, when you talk to New Zealanders, they don't seem to have too much of an appetite for that. And I want to talk about some of the things in the Taupo electorate. I was recently at the Business Excellence Awards. 500 people attended. Actually, it was a sellout. But I made a few comments to this group of business people who were gathered there. And I passed the comment on that the Leader of the Opposition had made that day about that fact that it is good fortune when people succeed in business. Good fortune, Mr. Speaker. Actually, it's a hell of a lot more than good fortune. And most people, actually all the people on this side of the House, know exactly what it takes to do well in business. Because I was talking to a room full of people in Taupo who are courageous, who are dedicated, who are resilient. You know, let's face facts, we have some tough times, but they are the ones who are doing it out there on the street, making it happen. And if you look at the people of the Taupo electorate, those in business, actually there's a quiet air of confidence. And I want to give you some of those examples. In Cambridge, any time there's a retail space that becomes available, it's snapped up just like that. 2 new supermarkets have been built in New Zealand so far this year, both of them in Tokoroa. 3 new dairy factories, 2 consented and 1 just completed in Mokai. Now that is a fantastic sign in terms of growing our exports in New Zealand, and that's what this side of the House is focused on, growing our export, because we know that that leads to jobs. Energy, just last week I was with Minister Hekia Prata at Contact Energy. They have some significant investment projects underway. One of them, of course, is the Tauhara project, which was consented in record time because of the changes we made in the introduction of the EPA. Te Mihi, $623 million being invested there. So these are great news stories in Taupo, and really demonstrate the fact that there is confidence out there. There is confidence in this government. There is confidence in what we are doing in the economy. A recent campaign that was done by a local business organisation in Taupo was the Grab It campaign. And it was focused on what is generally a challenging time in the winter months, over the periods July and August. And it was really interesting to see exactly what businesses can do when they pull together, because I've recently found out that in August both retail spending and the number of transactions is significantly up, and in fact higher than the average across New Zealand. So there is confidence out there. We are getting results. People do have the confidence to take on staff, and that's exactly what we want to see. And that's, of course, before the Rugby World Cup hits town. Taupo is actually hosting 3 teams, Wales, Ireland and South Africa. I must admit, Mr. Speaker, having seen the excitement of the Tongan supporters in Auckland on Monday, I did have this little wish that perhaps the Tongan team was going to be in town, but never mind. This is going to be a significant boost for the local economy, and not only that, what they've been doing is putting things in place that will actually create more business in the long term with the initiative by New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, the Business Club. So there's the Seeker Show, which focuses on deer hunting, the inaugural Clean Energy Centre Expo with a whole raft of international guests, and the New Zealand Junior Rugby Tournament, which in its own right is expecting 5,000. So, Mr. Speaker, I report from the people of Taupo that Taupo is in good heart, but not because of good fortune, because of courage, determination, the ability to work hard, but more importantly, Mr. Speaker, the confidence in a John Key-led government that we have the foundations in place for a strong economy, creating wealth, creating jobs and building a brighter future.
Keith Locke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Nikki Haga's Other People's Wars should prompt us to assess
the so-called War on Terror, which will be 10 years old this Sunday. The September the 11th attack on